Hello everybody, Peter Bird here from Optimal Nutritional Excellence, or One. I just want to introduce myself. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. It's brand new. I'm new at this. I've been working in the health field for 30 years. I'm a registered nurse. I also have a diploma in nutrition. Nutrition is focusing on whole food, plant-based approach to wellness is my passion. My journey started when my father was 40, when I was in my teens. I grew up on a farm. My father was a farmer. My mother was a registered nurse and a farmer's wife. I say that because when you're on a farm, everyone's involved in the farming process one way or another. It was a sheep and cattle farm. We ate meat every day. We would have a cooked breakfast. We'd have a cooked lunch. We'd have a cooked tea. We had smokos. Afternoon, morning teas. We worked hard. We ate from the family farm, so we had a large vegetable garden, or my mother did. Very seldom did we have anything ultra processed. In fact, we wouldn't have had anything ultra processed in those days. This is back in the 60s. I'm 66 years old. And a local village called Wakefield, which is about half an hour's drive outside of Nelson. Nelson is a beautiful city in the South Island of New Zealand. New Zealand is a country in the bottom of the South Pacific. It's a beautiful country. So we grew up in that environment. It was a great environment. But by the age of 40, my father couldn't work anymore. He contracted a disease called rheumatoid arthritis. It was a particularly aggressive form of rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is a systemic inflammatory disease. So for the next 18 years, he battled this disease. Had 16 different operations to replace his hips and to fuse his wrists, and tremendous amount of discomfort and pain throughout that next 18 years on all sorts of medications. I grew up in that environment. It gave me an acute sense of the importance of health. My father passed away at the age of 58, so 18 years after he was first diagnosed. He, at the time of his death, he had heart disease, he had lung cancer, he had been a smoker early on in his life, so he had the trifecta of diseases. My mother lived until her early 80s. Late 70s, she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, which progressed with her. She had heart disease as well. She was diagnosed earlier with heart disease. She sustained several strokes. One of the last strokes she had stole the ability for her to speak. It was very cruel, and it wasn't a pleasant journey into her last few years of her life when she passed away from a heart attack. In my early 30s, I went into my nursing training, became a registered nurse. I travelled through my early years of nursing as working in a hospital system and in the traditional sense of a nurse for the first 4 or 5 years, until I started a business called Precious People Occupational Health Services, which we were working out in private industry doing medicals and annual medicals and pre-employments and vaccinations and all those types of things. And I've been doing that for the last 25 years. About a year ago, I started a business called Optimal Nutritional Excellence. I became increasingly aware over the years working in my Precious People that the importance of diet and nutrition, lifestyle factors in relation to disease and wellness management. The pinnacle of that happened 12 years ago for me. 12 years ago, I thought I had been doing everything that I needed to do to stay well. I was exercising regularly. I was a runner. I was eating what I thought was a healthy diet. I went to my doctor feeling really tired, and I'd been tired for quite some time. My doctor ran some blood tests, did my blood pressure, told me that I had early stage heart disease. He outlined my future for me. The heart disease was a progressive disease, that what I could do is mitigate to a certain degree the course of that disease, but that it was inevitable. He used the word inevitability. It was inevitable that I'd be on a plethora of medications, and this would be my destiny now. It made me angry. I became upset. I went away from that, and from my earlier life on a farm, I knew how important it was for an animal to have good nutrition for it to become strong and healthy and maintain that. So I started to look around for what was the best diet for this animal. I had a friend at the time who was plant-based. He was vegan. I went and spoke to him. He provided me a book by a doctor called Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn Jr. The book was called How to Arrest and Reverse Heart Disease. I read this book from cover to cover. It was science-based. It was about a study that Dr. Esselstyn had undertaken over a period of several years with a group of end-stage heart disease patients, how he put them onto a whole food plant-based diet and how they had arrested and reversed their disease. Around about that time, I travelled with my wife, Kimmy, over to Bali, and we were there for a holiday for 3 weeks. We ate like the Balinese did. Now, in Asia, Bali, the way that they eat is a little bit different from the West. They eat lots and lots of fruits and vegetables, rice, and they have small amounts of animal protein on a plate. We ate like that for 3 weeks, and I felt better. I felt lighter. I came back and I started to do some more research and identified well over 100 years worth of studies in relation to whole food plant-based. In excess of 10,000 research articles, long-term research articles following people from populations right through their life till death, multiple populations over many, many years in different parts of the world by different researchers, all saying the same thing, all saying that that the more animal protein we ate, the shorter our lifespan and the sicker we were. The less animal protein we ate and the more whole foods that we ate, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, mushrooms, whole grains, the healthier we were. So I thought I'd trial this. I put 2 months on this and decided that I'd trial it for 2 months. And if at the end of that 2 months I didn't notice anything significant, that I was going to go back to the way I'd been eating. I was very much a foodie and very much am a foodie. I love my food. And so I was very reluctant to let that go, but I wanted to trial this. As little as a week, I was noticing improvements. I had asthma, adult asthma, for many years, which had been quite debilitating at times. My asthma disappeared after about a week and a bit on the whole food plant-based diet. I suspect it may have been the removal of dairy. That hasn't returned. This is 11 years later. I started to lose weight. I was about 8 to 10 kgs overweight. I had always battled with my weight. Even though I was exercising regularly, there was always this battle with my weight. My weight just started to peel off, 300-400 grams a week. I had my blood pressure and cholesterol and all my numbers done at the end of 4 weeks. They'd all come down. There's no medication that could have done all that. Lose weight, blood pressure reduction in cholesterol. Now that's a reduction in risk. What I was watching was the reversal, the arresting and the beginning of the reversal of my heart disease. So needless to say that I carry that on. That was 11 years ago. Today I don't have heart disease. I've arrested and reversed my heart disease. I box 3 times a week. I'm very active. I get up in the morning early. I work hard and I work long days. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I have a good, steady energy about me, and I am passionate and have a fire inside me about promoting a whole food plant-based diet for wellness. So in my practice, I have people come to me often that are quite unwell, and we work with those people over a period of time. We have a course that we run for 2 months. I meet with them once a week and we transition to a whole food plant-based diet. You will see that I have put up videos that will be scheduled for playing a video a week or an interview a week over the next couple of months. And these are clients of mine that it tells their story and their partner's story. So it shows the transition from the typical Western diet to a whole food plant-based diet, and their story and their improvements and their insights on their progress and how it's been for them, the challenges they faced, etc. So I want to welcome you once again to my YouTube channel. It's lovely to have you here. I'm here for the long term. I'm learning the craft of being a YouTuber, so bear with me, and I'm really looking forward to our journey. See ya.